Welcome back YouTube, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. Tutor UK here. We're at Donny Dome, 11th of May. Stalling out, wheeling and dealing, selling stuff, or not, as the case may be. But we're back sat on the floor. I thought, you know what, let's go a bit old school. Dust off the poor B&O in the corner here. We've got the N64. I know N64 isn't for everybody, but making a comeback. Mark my words, making a comeback. And not only because of Turkish Pete, but just some of the patterns I've observed this year stalling out. Loose N64. Honestly, if I had more of it, I would have sold it all. But yeah, so we stalled anyway. Like I said, we've got the what do you call it, multi-cart running here. I thought, you know what, we'll put Mortal Kombat 4 on, because I picked that up off Ant and Deck, God, last market or whatever it was, and everyone sort of saying, oh, it's meant to be a pretty good version, this, that, the other. So I thought, you know, we'll whack it on here. So you know what, I thought, if we're going to do that, let's sit on a fat arse back on the floor like we used to back in the old blast furnace days, and do a vid. And also, I think it was Claire, Retro Repair Bear, so I said, oh, what's all that stuff further beyond? Because obviously you don't see the stuff low down the shelves. So I thought, well, why not show a bit of PC Engine, the remainder, less than 10, I think. Black box, you probably can't see them. These are all Mega CD. Obviously you know what DS looks like. And there's a 7800. So, yeah, show a little bit more of the collection off while we're here. So anyway, back to Doncaster. They changed it. They changed the entry, which I think is probably going to be the format moving forward in terms of these sort of staggered early birds, or obviously not technically early birds, but you know, like the early bird from like 10 till 11, and then an 11 till 12, and then a 12 till 1, and then 2 o'clock's the public. It's to control the flow of people. Everyone's pissing and moaning. It's just different. That's all it is. To be honest, it probably works out better for most people, because you can get to the stores. If you're a little bit socially awkward, which, let's be honest, this hobby goes hand in glove with people that have got those kind of conditions, then it works for you as well, because you're not being crushed by other stinky, smelly people. As a vendor, I don't really see much of a difference, truth be told. I did better at Doncaster when general public came in, rather than, you know, the sort of hardcore collectors. It may just be the stuff I had, they just didn't want. And it's as simple as that. And because mine is very sort of run-of-the-mill, I suppose, rather than the sort of eclectic, high-end, sort of import, that kind of stuff. But it's horses for courses, really is. So I did okay. I'm not going to moan, although I did moan, because I think we've got used to the southern money somewhat, and that's still definitely a factor. And I'll say it. I said it before, and I'll say it again. Donny's been knocked off its perch, as far as I'm concerned. London is the place, especially as a seller. You're not going to beat it. I don't care what anybody says. You're all wrong. Trust me, you're all wrong. That being said, like I say, most people I know, we were stalling out behind Doncaster Hidden Chest. Those guys did well. Lewis was there, Wish Wash. I think he said he did well. Fob was stalling out. Did okay. Probably did on par with the South and Daz. So historically, we would have classed this as a really good weekend, really good sales. But in comparison to other events previously this year, not as good. Probably the least. I think probably did better at Black Country, maybe. Or maybe on par. Black Country's tiny. So it gives you an idea. Just gives you an idea. But like I say, it's just horses for courses. If you ever look to like sell your collection, or you want to stall out one of these events, you'll find that the ebb and the flow. And you just take the rough with the smooth. But it was a great day. I think it was on the hottest day of the year. and we were stuck inside on the Sunday when it's miserable. But no, the weather gods were, I suppose, technically against us as well, because when it's nicer weather, people tend to not want to come to these events. But hey-oh, we are where we are. Some spending money, we got some winnings, we spent some winnings, we got gifted some stuff, which is wonderful. And then I bought not as much stuff, to be honest. And then I've got other bits that we might be able to get to that again have been sat on the shelves for months. So first out the bat, I did get another box off Daz McCowan, my old mate Daz. As you all know, he's thinning out, clearing out, sorting out, rejigging, moving on, reinvesting his collection, his money, whatever. And he dug out a load of manuals for 2600. Hopefully I'll find boxes for them at some point. There's a few. I've got none of these. I don't think I have anyway. No, there's actually, no, tell a lie, there's some I have got. So we've got a couple of tele games, manuals, racing car. I'm not going to spend too long. Centipede I've got. Hemorrhoids, Asteroids, the Asteroids, Missile Command I've got, Breakout I've got, and then I think that's an Almo game. So yeah, a couple I haven't got there, a couple, you never know, might come across a box that's got no manual. So always useful. I love me a loose manual. Not only that, I say he gave me an empty Atari box, which I've left. I'm corralled into the corner here. But also he said, "Oh, were these any good to you?" And I said, "Look, I haven't got any of them. I may come across some of them if you want them out your way," which is kind of where he was going with this. I said, "I'll take them off you." Just a couple of empty boxes, PSP, Piano Black, and the PSP Go. You know what? I've never had through my hands, had passed through my hands a PSP Go. As odd as it sounds, I know they're quite highly regarded. Quite highly regarded among PSP collectors, but yeah, many thanks to Daz for them. And also, sticking with loose and empty boxes, Jim, old Coco Cabana. Nice to see Jim looking healthy. I did say to him, "You've been out in the sun?" He said no, but he looked very nice and tanned. But I think he uses ring lights, and they just bleach the crap out of you, make you look really pasty. But he had a bag full of stuff. He said, "Look, there's anything there you want?" And to be fair, he didn't have to do this because he knew I was stalling that. Man, I could have gone, "Yeah, I'll have that," and just put it on the stall and sold it. I took one thing, I gave him the game back out of it. So, look, I just want the box, because he knows I like fettling with stuff. And it's just an empty box, it is now, of F1 Pole Position 64. Because I'll have it for like the flaps and the bits and bobs and stuff. So, and he was quite happy. And mate, Jim, massive appreciation for that, brother. You didn't have to do it. You didn't even have to offer me it. Let's be honest. But he did. And talking about people that are there, I'm not going to do a list. If you're there, you're there. But what I do tend to do is new people that I've never met before. Evesham Gamer. I don't know what his name is. Mark, I don't know. I can't remember. But he came up, said hello. And it's not until he said hello and said who he was that I recognised him from YouTube, which is, he spoke to me on YouTube before. Now, unfortunately, he is an Xbox 360 collector. Now, don't hold that against him. Honestly, there's quite a lot of them now. They've all been drinking the Kool-Aid. But sound enough guy, lovely guy, came and said hello. If Xbox 360 collecting is your thing, which seems to be most people's, because they've all had the fucking lobotomy, go over, check him out. I'm pretty damn sure he's going for a full set. God knows why. I'm joking. Each to their own. But go over, check him out. I think he's only after the creme de la creme now. The top 5% of the 360 game. There was nothing for him on my stall, clearly. But nice to see him anyway. And there was a whole sort of little gaggle of tubers around there. And again, all people that I've mentioned before, met before. So we're not going to go over old ground there. So what did I actually buy? What did I actually get from the day? Again, looking for the Nintendo cardboard. There was no NES games there that I needed for my collection. There were some N64 games. the quality and the price just weren't there enough for me. So I didn't buy any of them. Do I regret that? Not really, because I've seen them online probably for about the same price and maybe a little bit better condition. So I wasn't too, sometimes you get sort of buyer's remorse, as in not buying it at all, rather than buying it and then regretting buying it. Didn't really have that, to be honest. Like I say, it wasn't a show-stopping day in terms of sales either, so it was probably for the best. But I did manage to get off of Doncaster, who's selling up literally his old collections, going up for grabs, I think, at this point. He put this on Facebook, I think, said, I'll have that, which he seemingly didn't realise I said I'd have it, which I did. Then he went, good job you told me in the chat to bring that. I said, well, I did tell you I wanted it. But that being said, we did a bit of a deal, I suppose, for this, and it's the wireless infrared controller for the NES, the acclaimed one. There is a 2-player one as well, I think, which are like blue and black, but I can't say I've seen many of these at all. Not that I've been looking, it just so happened he had it there, so I thought, you know what, I'll have that. Nice little boxed official. I mean, completely fucking useless. Look, let's be honest. You can get a Bluetooth adapter for probably half the price that I pay for this, but I'm just stupid, and stuff like this just intrigues me, interests me, and I like it because I like the artwork, and I like, stuff like that of its time. But I can't speak to if any of these infrared stuff really ever worked. I think even back in the day, I'd never used one. So I'm not aware, but many thanks to Doncaster for that. I do appreciate that, mate. Then from another store, which I did make a bit of a cock up on, it was a couple of ladies. I think they were selling the husband's and the daughter's and the dad's stuff. So it was all priced up, ready to go. And they had a couple of Atari games. Yes, we're on to Atari. So unfortunately, if Atari isn't your bag, these won't be. This one game won't be of interest. I've got the cart and the manual for this, so I'd always been looking for a box. You do sometimes see loose Atari boxes, not as common as you think, but they had this complete. It needs a bit of a fettle. It's 20 quid, so I grabbed it, and it's Superman. It has got all the flaps, but for some reason it's not wanting to lock in, so they need a bit of a tidy up. It's got everything in there, cart manual and stuff. Like I say, I've got both the cart manual anyway. But yeah, I'll give this an iron and a bit of a gluing when I get time. I mean, I must admit, these last couple of months, I've just had little time to no time. We've got revival in less than a month now. So I've really got to sort of not pull my finger out, because I've done a lot of the groundwork for sorting stuff out and whatnot. But the stuff from my collection, I've got a pile of ironing to do, and this is going on that pile. So we bagged. There was no deal here. I didn't ask for any deal. Superman was 20 quid. I bought what I thought was an Atari game, Dragonfire, on the I Am Magic label, and Daz very quickly pointed out, you do realise this is for television. So I had to go back, tail between the legs, to the ladies. So I say, look, I fucked up here. I don't want my money back, because that's, in my eyes, that's a cuntish thing to do, because it's not their fault. I said, look, here's an extra tenner, and I grabbed this. This is 30 quid. I don't know if that was a good price. To be honest, a lot of the stuff looked like it was about eBay. So, my fault. But again, it's a nice game. It's probably not one that I would have paid 30 quid for, truth be told, but say my fuck up. Pinball Fantasies, I mean, this is an Amiga game all day long, let's be honest. Pinball Fantasies and Pinball Illusion, iconic Amiga titles, especially for the pinball genre, really did redefine digital pinball games. Say not one that was really high on my list. I know everyone's going to say, are you going for a Super Nintendo 4? I'm not, because I would have bought this if that was the case. But it's all complete there. But like I say, it's my cock up, my mistake. I got far too excited. Say Dragonfire was 20 quid. So I thought, yeah, that was a good price. That to go back, tail between legs, extra tenner. I'll take it off you ladies. So that's what I did. One that was ended up being a really good price, I think, and kind of feeds into the whole N64 bit here. I was looking, and I am looking, and I think I mentioned this before because I'm stupid, to get the Player's Choice games. About 10. There's about 10 of them. For those that don't know, they're the silver. I think they have to sell, like, I don't know, 3 million copies. I don't know. There's a number for you to become a Player's Choice. Chap there that Craig knows. I've seen him before at the odd event. Nice enough chap. He had this. It's 15 quid. 15 quid, box complete. You're probably looking about 20 odd quid. There you go. Look, yeah, £15. Look, probably about 20, maybe £25, depending on the condition of this generally. So at £15, I was in. He did have Lilac Wars at, I think, 20 quid or 25 quid, but I had no manual. And I just didn't want to spend, and it had like a bit of writing on the box. If I had the manual, and obviously I knew about the writing, I probably would have just took it anyway. But yeah, without the manual, with that writing, it was not really worth it in that respect. So yeah, just like I say, another thing for me to add to the list, to be honest, of stuff to collect. So I'm about halfway, I think. I've got a couple here. These other couple will make it about 5 games. Yeah, it will be about 5 games. So I've got 5 games left to find. The other 2 that I picked up, and these were, one was eBay, and then one was a bundle off a Facebook guy that I bought a load of Nintendo stuff from. With loose carts, which have all gone. It's all went like Oxford and everywhere else. As I say, N64 loose just seems to be, regardless of what everyone says and doesn't like about the old fucking N64, they seem to sell. Oh, this is the RGB modded N64, I should mention that, by Retro Repair Bear. For all your retro modding requirements. So, like I say, I'm not going to spend too long on these 2 because these are games you've probably seen before. But the Player's Choice ones, F1 Grand Prix. And to be honest, you know what? I am being a bit more picky with these because why not? I'm in no rush to get them. So I do, and there have been ones on eBay that are a bit raggedy. I just think, you know what? No, let's get a nice set because the other 2 that I've got are quite nice. So there's that F1 Grand Prix, and I don't know if I showed this. I can't remember now. F0X can be a bit of an expensive one. I've still got, say, Lilac Wars. Snowboard Kids was expensive, even on the Player's Choice, to believe it or not. GoldenEye, Banjo Kazooie. There's probably another one, can't remember. But yeah, so just a little addendums really, because like it's not that I've got anything else better to do, spend money on. So PlayStation, bit of Sony, PlayStation 1, yes. I know, it's not just Nintendo here. I'll have, 18 minutes in. I've had this game for probably years. I got it from CEX Doncaster, so I haven't started selling stuff. It was missing the insert. And this insert and back cover had been on eBay for the longest time. It's from Poland. It ended up being a right old fucking to do getting this for some reason. I don't know why. But I managed to get the front insert for Devil's Deception. Now, the only problem is it's got some writing. I don't even know what that writing says. I'm just going to say it's signed by the developer in like 40 years when I come to sell it all, when I'm fucking on my deathbed. Yeah, it's signed by the developer. I have no idea. But to be honest, it doesn't look too obtrusive, I don't think. It does look like it's someone signed it. I didn't even ask the guy what it meant. I should ask him, but it looks like someone's signature. But it come from Poland. So the guy from Poland was saying to me, oh, you've got to go to the post office. It's been stopped by customs. And I'm like, dude, it don't work that way here. I said, it ain't come to me. It ain't even got to me yet. It was weeks. But then it just suddenly turned up. There's nothing, people in the UK will know this. There's no letter come through, no flyer, nothing, no email. Fuck all, just got delivered. So God knows what happened. It got here. So that's all I'm bothered about. If anyone is after a back cover, it's all in English for Devil's Deception. Let me know, because I've got a spare one knocking about now. But yeah, I decided to say weren't overtly cheap either. But I thought with some of the winnings that I got from Oxford and maybe the one before that. Thought, let's get it done. It's another one off the list that I need to complete. 20 minutes. Let's do some N64. I was going to do some Atari, but I'm not going to put you through Atari because I know everyone gets fed up with it. They're going to get fed up with N64, but these have been sat on here for ages as well. Right. I can't remember where I got these from. I think this one's from... I think it's from eBay. I had the it was because I had the manual for this. I think it was just a box only. Magical Tetris Challenge. A nice, as you can imagine, Tetris clone there with a Disney theme put to it. This one was from eBay. This box, it's weird. So this box was split. So I just stuck it back together again. Or was it split? Yes, it was split. And I just stuck it back together again. But weirdly enough, on the split, it said, glue here, English. And it's Earthworm Jim 3D. So everyone thinks it's Earthworm Jim. Maybe it is Earthworm Jim 3D. So maybe it's Earthworm Jim 3 and 3D, than the plain words there. I can't speak to it, to be honest. I don't really know if it's any good or not. I don't even know if it's on the PlayStation. I've got a feeling it probably would have come out on the PlayStation as well. I doubt they would have made it an exclusive on the older N64. But yeah, Earthworm Jim 3D. But yeah, it's split on the seam, which helped me just tidy up the edges anyway. But on it said glue here, English. And I've seen that on another game, and I can't remember where it is. There's another game that I had. Might have been... can't remember what it was now. There's another one that had happened on. Damn it, was this CX? I think this was CX. I can't remember now, it's been that long. Not a cheap game to get, loose either. It's Taz Express. Again, I can't speak. Looks, again, quintessential N64 3D platformer. It's either driving games or platforming games on the N64. The only Taz I remember playing is the Tasmania on the SNES, which was like a running racing game. So we've got that one. One of the more sort of weird, obscure 3D fighters. Again, all trying to, you know, off the back of Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. Let's chuck it into a 3D arena. I can't speak to it. This is Gasp, generation of art, speed, and power. Fighters Next Extreme. It's probably, I mean, Konami, it's probably a pile of old shite. Let's be honest. But I can't remember where I got this from. This may have been CEX as well. I can't remember. But yeah, nice condition. What are we on? 23. Last three then. So I'll put in my phone so I know what I've got left. I'm just over, I think it's 32 games. I need 32 N64 games boxed, to have them all boxed now. And 15 or 20 of them are sports games, I shit you not. This is one off the list. And they ain't, I keep saying this every time I talk about N64, they ain't bloody cheap, which is killing me. It's absolutely killing me. This is probably one of the cheaper ones off there. eBay buy, cheaper than it was the going rate. I think it was bids, and I went on bids. NBA Pro 98. I have no fucking idea. I don't really care, to be honest. Other than NBA Jam, basketball can do one. This was from CX. I must have ordered this game over the years probably at least 12 times. Every time it's come through, fucked. I'm not a fan of the whole manual, no manual thing. I think people that have championed that have fucked us all over. But having said that, it kind of inadvertently has helped in sort of sourcing some of the some of the games you need with the manual. But I still don't think it was the right thing to do, because it's pushed the prices of everything up. Anyway, we're not talking about that. But this game, generally, you find it in right ratty conditions. It's the box. It's one of these later boxes that are just cheap cardboard that have this tendency just to rip in straight lines. Don't know what it is. So the flaps and everything just shear off, but they shear off in straight lines. One of the Rush games, I know that someone else has just bought this. They are good games. They are based off the arcade games by Midway, and this one is San Francisco Extreme Racing. But they are just basically don't break, full tilt, and off you go. Probably not as good as 2048, Rush 2048, but it's still a decent one. But like I say, they're all based from the arcade games, and I think they found a good home on the N64. And you know, that's probably 30 quid, I think, about 30 odd quid. One of the more expensive racing games. Don't know why. Who knows why these games go the way they do. Maybe weren't sold as well, I don't know. But this, again, can be a tricky one to find, partly because of the name of it as well. And it's F1 Racing Championship. So not to be confused with F1 Grand Prix. Yeah, the video system. I can't speak to it. I'm not really a big F1 fan, to be honest, other than like virtual racing, the arcadey type things. This looks to be a bit more in depth. Dave Burstall, although he hates the, what does he call it, the fugly N64. But yeah, this is not an overly cheap one. Probably more towards the 60, 70 quid mark if you're lucky, on a good day. On a bad day, you probably might be pushing 100 quid. So that, guys, that's probably all of my N64 as well, off the shelf. I'm just having a look now. Nearest damn it, yeah. So that's caught up with that, and I just thought, you know what, let's just tie it in with what's going on here. We've got Revival, so next event, next meeting, whatever we want to call it. Revival isn't a market. Revival is an expo over 2 days. I'll put the details down below. Get your tickets booked in, because I think once it starts getting a bit of traction, that'll probably sell out and you may struggle. But I say it's 2 days event, Saturday and Sunday. Daz and myself are stalling out. I think Fob's stalling out. I think Dana and Ant are actually sponsoring it, so they'll be there. Looks like there's plenty of tubers going to turn up for that one. It is June 8th and 9th. I want to say 8th and 9th of June. So hopefully we'll get the weather as well, you know. Be a nice weekend, meet some people, spend some money, have some beers, shandy in my case, which I will be doing, and hopefully have a good weekend. So with that being said, because it's probably a couple of weeks away now, hopefully I'll be able to get a couple more videos out in between then as well, all things being equal. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. I'll speak to you soon. Take it easy. Bye-bye.